Hello everyone. So in the last video we built out this page, which was the / merchant page, and we built it out all the way to the bottom. And so now in this video we're going to begin by building the accept online payments page, which is this one right here. And as always, I already have all the images and we're going to begin right away. So if you go into the images folder, you're going to find a folder that is called online payments, and inside this folder you can get all the images that we're going to need in order to build out this page. As always, the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to go inside my pages folder, and then I'm going to go inside accept online payments JS, which is our main component for this page that we're going to be building. And the first thing that I want to do is this. Inside my pages folder, I'm going to create a new folder. So a new folder that is called online payments. And then inside this folder, I'm going to create a new file that is called hero.js, and then I'm just going to say rfc, which is going to generate this component for me. And then I want to render this component inside our parent, which is called accept online payments. So inside here, I want to first return a fragment, and then I want to render the hero, which is coming from online payments. Make sure it is the correct folder. And then when I save this, I can then navigate into the proper link, and this link is called accept-online-payments. And once it loads in, then what we should see on the screen is just some text that says hero. And as always, it takes a while to load in. I don't know why, but it just does that. So let's just give it a minute. And you know what, as it is loading, let's just go ahead and begin to structure this page. And the way we're going to structure it is just similar to all the other pages that I've built before. And so I'm going to do this inside my hero.js. I'm going to return a section with a class of, let me just remember the class. The class is pay online hero. So section is a class of pay online hero. And then I'm also going to give it a custom class called online payments -hero. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want this section to take up the classes for this, but I'm adding in this second class so that I can change the background image here to the correct one. Because what is going to happen, let me show you. If I create a div with a class of overlay here and an article as well as an h1 that says, let me just get the text, this one, copy and paste, and then below this let's get the paragraph that says this, copy and paste, and then below this let's have a button in the class of btn blue that says get started. When I save this and I take a look at our application, it is going to load in. Oh, error page. What? Accept online payments. What page did we create? Let me check. Oh, accept payments online. Oh my goodness. Accept payments online. Well, at least we know that our error page is working correctly. But as you can see, we have the text displaying correctly, but the background image is not the correct one. So we are going to fix that. And that is the reason why I have added in this second class. So right away, let's fix that. Let's go into our index.css file. And then right below, let's go below this. Actually, not, we can just copy this class down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change this image. So the image is now coming from online payments / and it should be hero.jpg right there. So that now when I change this class once again, so it's called online, what's it called? Online payments hero. Online payments hero. When I save this and I take a look, then the image is going to change into the proper one. There we go. So you can see that now we are matching with this. And then now we just need to structure this so that it comes here. So in order to do that, then let me go into send payments and this hero.js file. Okay, so this one, because I just want to copy some of these classes. I don't want to repeat them. So I'm going to copy, let me see. This is the div and then the article. Let me see, how did I structure this? So div and then the article. So let me go ahead and copy these classes, copy and paste them here. And then let's copy the classes for this h1. So is that all? So copy and then paste them inside the h1, but we want the h1 to be white, so we're going to change this into text white. And then let's see, we need the classes for this paragraph, copy and then paste them in this paragraph. and then let's save it, and it should restructure everything right there. And then of course we need this paragraph to be white, so let's go ahead and say text white on this paragraph. Text white. Oh, and font bold, by the way, it should be just a bit bolder in font. And then let me see, let's see, the widths are just a bit less in the original, so let's see if we can fix that. Let's go how do I do this? Actually, let's reduce this to 4XL. How much does it reduce? Oh wait, that's not the way to do it. That is not the way to do it. 6XL. Let's give this each one a max width of large, and then let's say that this should only apply on large screens. And then let's do the same for the paragraph, and we are going to remove this class here and then paste in this one and save it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Looking nice, 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 nice. And that is our hero section complete. So now we just need to go ahead and build out this section. That is a table. I hate tables. I really hate tables. Let's see how are we going to do this. So we have PayPal checkout. So PayPal checkout, and then how do I want to do this? By the way, the logic is not coming. Anyway, so let's create a component that is called checkout. So let's go ahead inside our online payments. So inside this folder, let's create a new file that is called checkout.js, and then let's say RFC inside here. And then once we do that, then let's return a section. Let me check. So, okay, so let's return a section of the class of max width dash 6XL and MX auto, and then padding on the X of 8, and then padding on the Y of 10, and then for large screens we're going to say padding on the Y of 20. And then let's have an H2 that says PayPal checkout. So PayPal checkout, and then below this H2 we are going to have we can have this to be one section, and then we can create this to be another section or a div. How do I want to do this? How does it even look on mobile? Oh wait, I forgot this website doesn't do that. So let's see, let's do this. Let's create a div and then an article, and then this article is going to have this text. So let's create a UL with list items, and let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, so times 8. And then let's copy this text. So copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and then copy, and then paste. And then let's save this, and let me close this, and then let me go ahead and render out the component that is called checkout, so that we can actually see what we have on the screen, and it should appear right there because we have added a padding and then max width as well, so that it doesn't go all the way to the end. And then let's begin to style this out. Let me go inside this UL, give this a class name of text slate 700 and font bold. Okay, let's say 600, and then I need to style this H2 as well. So give this a class name of text center, margin bottom of 10, let's say text dash 3XL, and then for large screens let's say text dash 4XL. Save it, it should now appear here. Let's change text to slate 700. I think it should be larger, right? Yeah, it's larger and it is light font. Let's change this to 800. Let's say font light, and then let's go back here, change this to 5XL. That should do it. There we go. And then let's go inside each of these list items. So here, here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Let's give all of this a class name of padding on the Y of 2 and padding, padding all round of 2. That should be fine. That's looking okay. And just to mention it, I've added multiple cursors by just clicking on this first one and then holding down the Alt key and clicking everywhere else. And that is how you add multiple cursors. Makes you look cool like me. So once you have that, then let's go ahead and add this zebra style. So let's do this. Let's go inside this UL and let's say that for every odd one, we want the BG to be slate. Wait, for every odd one? Yes, for every odd one. Slate 100. That should be it. So this one, oops. Doesn't it count the odd ones here? What if I change this to fast? Will it work or not? What? Or am I using this class wrongly? Odd, nth child odd. Yes, nth child odd. Then I want the BG to be red 500. Why doesn't it work? Let me do this in CSS because I can't seem to understand this. So let me give this article a custom class of zebra. And then let's go below this. Let's say for the class of zebra, let's say background color should be red, just because I want to see it. Okay. And then let's say for the class of zebra and then the UL, and then I want the list item. How do you access it? The list item. Then I want the nth child and I want the odd one. Save it. There we go. But why doesn't it work? That's inconvenient. Let me try it here. Let me say that for every odd one, then the BG should be slate 100. And then let's disable this to see whether it will work. No, it doesn't work. Okay. Perhaps I'm just using it wrongly. So let's have it as that, and then let's change this color now because I don't want this color, obviously. So let's say at apply BG slate dash 100. Okay, so that now every third one has this grayish background color. And then let's go ahead and create this second part. And the way we're going to do that is just copy this div, paste it here, and then we're going to change the text on the UL. So copy this, wait, what? Copy this, paste it here. And then this second one is an image. So we need an image here. Image, and then text. So image, and then text here that says API. And then image, no text, and then no. So this one says no, this one doesn't have text. Okay, that should be the correct structure. Let's get rid of these spaces. There we go. And then when I save this, then what should happen is the following. There we go. So it should appear on the bottom of this. So how we're going to fix that is, let's first add in the images. Let's add in a check mark. Let's import check mark from /, oops, // images / online payments / what is it called? It is called arrow active. Wait, no, check sign. It's called check sign. Check underscore sign capital C. Check sign.jpg. And then let's go ahead and render the image here. So let's render an image that says checkmark. And then let's copy this and paste it here as well. Oops, not with the space, obviously. And then paste it here as well. Get rid of the space. And then finally here, get rid of the space. Really, there we go. So that now we should be able to see our check marks. Image cannot be resolved. Images, online payments, checksend.jpg. What is it called? Checksend PNG. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, and we should be seeing it. There we go. So those are our images. And then now we just need to style this so that they appear side by side. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to go inside this div. We're going to give this a class name of flex. They're going to appear here. No, not flex. Let's say grid. And grid columns -2 with no gap. There we go. And then we're going to go inside this article and we're going to give it a custom class that is called text center, so that this text centers here. And then we need to center the images as well. So let's go inside this image and this image and this one and this one. Let's give them a class name of block and mx auto so that they're going to be centered here. And then what else? We need this article to have a border. Okay, and then let's give it a padding of around 4. That is not what I want. What if I say margin all round of 4? Should do the same thing. Okay, almost the same thing. I should give it an how do I fix this actually? How do I fix this? If I give it an outline, how do you offset an outline? Let's see if Tailwind has an outline offset property. Outline offset. Oh, there we go. That should be it. It's not so big, but it does do the job. Let's reduce the outline to 1. Okay, and then let's give the outline a color. Oh, sorry, outline slate with what is the color? Yeah, outline slate dash, let's say 400. How does that look? Yeah, would you look at that? Would you look at that? And I do realize that I haven't added in this title. That is because with the structure that I've used, adding in this title is going to be a pain. We need to add in this button and one more list item here. So let's copy this down and then remove the text. And then let's copy this down and then let's add in button here. A button that says learn more. Then let's style it out. Let's give it a class name of text blue -600. Let's say on hover we want it to have an underline, and then let's give it a font of bold. Let's see. There we go. Looking fantastic. Nice. Let's move on to the next section, which is this one. So section 3, that is what I'm going to call it. So right here, create a new file called section3.js. Let's say rfc, and then let's return a fragment and then a section. And then this section is going to have a style property. We're going to give it a background color here. Oops, background color. And then let's grab this color, grab this, copy, and then paste it here. And then let's give it a class name of padding on the Y of 10. Then for large screens, padding on the Y of 20. Let's save it. And then we'll have an h2. So let's go ahead and add in this h2 that says cell without boundaries. And then below this h2, let's go ahead and add in a paragraph. So copy and paste, and then below this paragraph we have a button that says more about fees. And then let's go back into checkout, and then let's copy the classes of this h2. Copy, oops, copy, and then let's paste them here, and then change the text to white, text white. And then inside this paragraph, let's give this a class name of text white, and then inside this button, give this a class name of text white, font dash bold, font type, and then on hover we want it to have an underline. Okay, and I've just realized something, but let me save it so that you also realize it. When I save it, then oh wait, need to render section 3 here. When I save it, then we're going to have a section here, but this is what happens. So we don't want this to happen. So let's go ahead and fix that by doing this. We're going to grab the button and everything inside here, cut it out, place it inside a div with a class of max width dash 6xl and mx dash auto with the padding on the x of 8, and then we're going to say text dash center, and then we're going to paste this in, and it should now be here. And let's add a margin bottom of this of 10 to push away from this button, and then let's limit this to not be 6xl but around 2xl, maybe let's say 3xl. I think that works better. Yeah, 3xl, looking nice. And then we can go ahead and build the next section, which are these tabs. So for these tabs, what we're going to do is we are going to create a custom array of objects, because I want to be able to reference these images relative to the public path, and I don't want to create separate components for them like we did in a previous video. So let me show you another way. And so therefore what we're going to do is this. Let me close all of these files, there are many. Inside our data.js file, remember we created a file like this. We're going to go below this, and we're going to create a new array of objects, and let me call this export const, let me say what, let me say payments, because we're on the payments page. So an array of objects, and we're going to do this. We don't need an ID really, but we can have the description here, and the description is just going to be this text. So copy, did I even copy it? No, I did not. So copy this text, paste it here, and then what we're going to do is we also need to reference the image. Now the image is going to be this one, and we're going to be placing it inside an images folder, and then inside online payments, and then we're going to reference the proper image here. So now you'll notice that now we're no longer doing dot slash and then dot slash images. The reason why I'm doing this as dot slash images is because I want these images to be referenced from the public path, so right inside here. And if you do not do it like this, then it's not going to be able to be accessed from this path. I don't know why React does that, but it does that. So inside the images folder, we're going to create a new folder. It's called online payments, and then we're going to add in the images. So let me just add them in. So screen 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's cut them out, and then let's add them inside online payments. So paste them inside here. Did that do anything? What is wrong with my mouse? Cut and then paste. There we go. And then now we can go ahead and do this. We want to get screen1.png, and then let's copy this down 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. Change this to screen 2, change this to screen 3, and change this to screen 4. And then let's get the proper text. So login, copy this, paste it here. Oops, there we go. And then copy this and paste it here. Really? Okay. And then 4, copy this, and paste it here, and that should be it. So let's go ahead and save this, and then back inside, where is it? Let me create a new component because I did not. That is called tabs.js, and then let's say RFC, and then let's go ahead and render tabs. So tabs, and it should appear. Tabs is not defined. Import it. Come on, and it should appear right here. So tabs. So let's begin to style it out first of all by adding in this background color. Let me go ahead and grab it. So copy, and then inside tabs we're going to return a fragment and then a section, and then inside this section we're going to give it some styles. We're going to say background color and then set it to this. Okay, let's see what else we need to do. Let me give it a class name of padding on the y of 10, then for large screens padding on the y of 20. And then inside this section we're going to create a div with a class of max width -6xl with an mx of auto with padding on the x of 8. And then inside this div, that is where we're going to create these two articles. So the first article is going to be this one, and then the second one is going to be this one. So we're going to have an article inside here that has some text, and then we're going to also have another article here that is going to be our images. So let's begin to build this out. And first of all, you know what, let me go ahead and do this. Let's go inside this article. Let's add in an h2 that says how it works. And then let's copy the styles of the h2 from the checkout page. Copy this and paste it here, and then change this to text white. And then what we need to do now is we need to import use state from React, and then we also need to import the data that we've just created that is called payments, and this is coming from /data/data. And then we're going to create our state value. So we're going to say const, let me say items, this is equal to use state, and by default I want to pass in the data that I've just created that is called items. And then I also want to create another state value that is called value and set value, and then this is equal to use state. By default it's going to be 0, meaning it's going to be the first item, meaning only this first one is going to show, as well as this one. And then what we need to do now is we need to do what? Let me see. We need to get the images, to extract the images. So I'm going to say const, and I'm going to say, where is it? Image. What do they call it? I've forgotten what I called it. Where is our data folder? Where's the data folder? There we go. So I'll call it image. So image is equal to the structuring image, and I'm going to say set it equal to the items of value, meaning display the image that corresponds to the current item that we have clicked on. That's what this means. Such that now if I go ahead and display the image here, image, and then display the image and set it to the image that we've just destructured here, and remember the value is currently 0, meaning the first one. When I save this, look at what happens on the screen. We're going to have the first image. If I change this to 2 or to 1, then we have the second image. If I change this to 2, we have the other image, and so on and so forth. So that is basically the functionality that we're building inside here. But of course this image is going to be toggleable, meaning it's going to be dependent on what we are currently clicking on, what we're currently viewing. So let's go ahead and build up this section next. And for this one we're going to do this. Below this h2 we're going to have a ul. This ul is going to be list items times 4, because there are 4 of them. And then the way it's structured is we have a span that says 1 for each of these numbers, and then the text is here, and we can go ahead and get the text. And actually, you know what, I am doing this wrongly because I am doing this wrongly because we need to first map over the items that we have so that we can display all the text that is needed. So let's first remove all of this, and then let's say items.map, And then I'm going to say that for every item that you get back, I also want to get back the index. And then we're going to return a list item with the key of index. And then inside this list item, we're going to have a span that says the index plus 1. And I'm saying index plus 1 because arrays are indexed from 0. So index plus 1 means 0 plus 1, and then 1 plus 1, and then 2 plus 1, so that we get the correct numberings. And just to show you, let me remove this first of all. And then after this span, we're going to have the item.description, because that is the property that I have inside here. And then after the item description, we're going to have another span, and this span is going to be the image. Oh, wait a minute. I need this icon as well. So this icon, let me just go ahead and say icon. And then let's import the icon. So let's say import icon from // images / online payments / and it is called arrow active. So arrow _ active .png. That's looking nice. So when I go ahead and save this, then we should have something on the screen, and we have this. Would you look at that? Now see, we have 0, 1, 2, 3. We don't want that, right? So that's why I added in index plus 1 here, so that we can have the correct numberings. So now let's begin to style this out. Let's go inside this UL, give this a class name of let's say text white. Wait a minute, that's actually not a good idea. That is not a good idea, because the text becomes white and bold depending on what you've clicked on. So you don't want to add that inside here. Instead, let's go inside this list item. Let's give it a class name, and we're going to make it dynamic by adding curly brackets and then our backticks. And then we're going to add our $sign and another curly brackets. And we're going to say that when the index is equal to the value, when this is true, then we want the text, then we want the text to be white. Such that now if I save this, watch what happens on the screen. Only this text becomes white because we are currently viewing the first item. And if I change this to 1, then this one is not going to be white. Instead, the second one is going to be white. So this functionality is working correctly. But now what we need to do is we need to make the text that is not currently viewed, we need to make it grayed out. So let's go ahead and do this. Inside the UL, let's make all the text bold, because I need all the text to be bold. And then inside here, so right before our $sign, we're going to say text slate, let's say 600. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, that looks ugly. Let's say 200. No, that's too white. Let's say 400. Okay, so we have text 400, and we have issues. Let me place it after this. That should be it. We have the same issue. I don't know whether you can remember in a previous video where we were trying to add a border, but it was refusing. We tried to add it like this, but it was refusing. So what if I change this to negative is not equal to value, change this to text slate 400, and then change this to text white? What happens? Okay, there we go. So it needed this to be negative, huh? Are you telling me I could have fixed the other video by just changing this to negative? That's discouraging. And so let's change the cursor to be a pointer here. Let's say cursor dash pointer. So the cursor is a pointer for all of them, meaning they're clickable. And then let's go inside this list item. Oh wait, still inside here. Let's change this into a flex box so that everything aligns here. And then let's say items the center, so that this moves down just a bit. And then let's add a gap of about 4 to separate everything out. Fantastic. And then let's go inside this UL, change this into a flex box because I want to add a gap on the UL as well. Change this to flex column. Let's say flex wrap. Let's say item center. And then let's add a gap of 4 as well to separate it out. Wait, don't add that in item center. Okay, looking nice. And then let's style out these numbers, which is the span. So give this a class name of padding of y of 2, padding on the x of 4, rounded dash full, border, and then border white. That should be it. Looking nice, fantastic. And then what we need to do is, this is on small screens, by the way. This is on small screens. We need a gap here. So let's go ahead. Let's see, inside this div, let's change this div into a grid with grid columns 1 with a gap of 8 to separate it out from here. And then let's go inside this image, give this a class name of mx auto, and then a block element so that it moves to the center. And then what we're going to do now is this. When we scale it up right at around here, then you want this and the image to be aligned here. So therefore we're going to say this, that for medium screens, then we're going to change the grid columns to 2, and then for medium screens we're going to say item center, and that should bring it here. Looking nice. And that is how it looks on large screens. Now we need this text to come to the left. So let's say here that for large screens, then text dash left. That should bring it here. Nice. And then we need this to reset back to 0 so that we're always showing the first item. And then we're going to go inside the list item and make it clickable by adding an on click here. And we're going to say that when you click on it, then we're going to change the value by saying set value into the index, so that when you save this, then I can click on this, it shows the second image and third and fourth. Looking nice. Would you look at that? And we have successfully created this section. So let's go ahead and create the next section. So let me call this section section 4 or what? Section 4. So section 4.js. Technically I think it should be section 5. And then let's say RFC, save it, and then let's render it inside here. So section 5, remember to import it, and then let's begin to structure it out. So we're going to have an h2, and then we're going to have 3 articles. Okay, looking nice. So let's begin by returning a section with a class of padding on the x of 8 and padding on the y of 10. And then for large screens, we're going to say padding on the y of 20. And then let's add a max width of 6xl and an mx of auto. And I can add in the max width on the parent section here because it doesn't have a background color. So we're going to have this, and then below this, we're going to have an h2 that says this, copy and paste. And then below this h2, we're going to have a div, and this div is going to have 3 articles times 3. And each of these articles is going to be one of these. So the way it's structured is we have an image first of all, and this image we're going to get it, and then below the image you have an h3 that says this, so quicker checkout. And then below the h3 we have a paragraph that says some text, so this one, copy and paste it here. And then it is the same structure for the rest of the articles. So let me go ahead and get the images, and we're going to do this. We're going to say import icon1 from // images / online payments / icon1.png, and then copy this 2 more times, change this to icon2, this to icon3, and then change this to icon3 and this to icon2. And then inside here I can render icon1, and then I can just copy this text here, copy and paste it here and here, and then change this to icon2, and then change this to icon3. And then we need to change the text, so copy this text, paste it here, copy this text, paste it here, and then copy this text, copy this text and paste it here, and then copy this text and paste it here, save it. And then when I save it, then we're going to have this on the screen. So let's begin to style it out. Let us go ahead and say that for this image, give this a class name of block, really, block and mx auto. And then let's copy the styles for this image here on the second image and on the first image, because I need them to have the same styles. And then on the image, actually, you know what, let's give it a margin bottom of 4 so that it pushes away a bit from the text. So copy this, paste it here, and then paste it here. And then let's tell these h3s, so all of these, let's give it a class name of text slate dash 700, and then text dash 2xl, and then for large screens text dash 3xl, and then margin bottom of 6 to push them away from the paragraph. And then for the paragraphs, you know what, they also need to be light font, so font light. And then for this paragraph and this paragraph and this one, let's go ahead and say give them a class name of font dashboard, and let me see what else, text slate dash 800. Save it. Let's see, was it structured? Nope. Let's say 600. Okay, that looks okay. Probably shouldn't be font bold, so let me remove the font bold from here. Let's remove it. There we go. And then inside, let me say inside this div, give this a class name, and let's say text-center, which should center everything. Fantastic. And then let's change it into a grid with grid columns -1 with a gap of 8. And then for medium screens, we're going to say grid columns 2. And then for large screens, we're going to say grid columns 3. And then it should now be aligned here, looking nice. And then that is what we're going to have. So small screens, and then medium, and then large screens. And then let's style out this H2. Let's go ahead into the tab section. Let's copy the styles for this H2. Copy class names, and then let's paste them here. And then change this into text slate 800, and that should be fine. Is this not centered? Let's remove this, and then let's increase margin bottom. Let's say for large screens, margin bottom 16. I need this to be bigger. That's looking nice. Okay, and then it has some text here that you can add if you want, so let's just add it in. Let's go below this div. Let's create a paragraph that has this text. Let's give it a class name of text-center, and then let's say what, let's say text-small, and that's it, right? Oh, let's say margin top of 8. Let's say text slate 600. That's looking fine. And then finally we have this section, which is the last one, that says 7 million businesses worldwide, So let me call this one CTA, which means call to action.js. Let's say RFC. And then let's go inside the tab section, or let's go inside section 5. Let's copy the classes on this H2. Really? H2. And then we're going to create a section here with a class of page slate -100, with a class of padding on the Y of 10. And then for large screens, we're going to say padding on the Y of 20. And then inside here, we're going to create a div with a class of max with -6xl, with a class of mx auto. And then we're going to have an h2. And then this h2 is going to have the class name that we copied, except it's not going to have margin 16, I don't think. And then what else? We don't need text 5xl. We're going to reduce it to 4xl. And the h2 is going to say this, so copy, paste it, and then below this h we're going to have a button that says btn blue, and it says get started. Save it, and then let's render CTA here. So CTA, and we should see it on the screen. There we go. And then we need this to move to the center. Why aren't you centered, by the way? Let's go ahead and let's make it a block element, and let's say mx auto, which will center it. There we go. And then let's add a margin bottom on this section to push away from the footer. So let's say margin bottom of 20, which will push away from the footer. And there we go. Would you look at that? That is the entire section complete. And oh wait, Did I make this responsive? I did not. I did not. Let's see. Everything else looks okay. Oh, wait, except for this section. We need this div to have padding on the x of it so that this pushes inwards. Yeah. So everything else does look responsive. Everything else looks responsive except for this one. Let's go back into the checkout.js and then let me see how I'm going to do this. This div, what if I give it a width of full? Nothing happens. Width dash. What is the other width that makes it 100%? I've forgotten the class. With screen. That should do it. Oh, wait, it's the same thing, isn't it? Oh yeah, no, it is not the same thing. So with screen, and then I can say overflow dash auto, which would create a scroll bar here or not, because I want it to be scrollable, but I want it to be scrollable without introducing this bottom scroll bar for everything else. Like, I only want this section to be scrollable. So what if I remove this from here and add it to section 2 here and say overflow auto? There we go. There we go. So it removes the scroll bar from the bottom, but it introduces it here. Do you see that? That's looking nice, except now I don't want this scroll bar here. So let me say, how do you hide the scroll bar? How do you hide the scroll bar? I would have to style it out. So let me just remember how to style a scroll bar because I have forgotten. You know what? I have a GitHub project where I style the scroll bar. So let me just check it out. Let's see if I'm going to remember the repository. My own website has a scroll bar. So let's see, open up. Oh my god, why are you so slow? Why are you so slow? Let's go inside index CSS, and then there we go. So the WebKit scroll bar. So let's copy these 3 classes, and then let's introduce them on top at the very tippy top. Let me go below this. And then now I want the scroll bar. How do I target the x-axis scroll bar? Is there a way? Is there a way to target the x-axis scroll bar? Oh, and I don't want this to happen on large screens. On large screens, I want it to go back to normal, right? So let's fix that by saying that for large screens, or not, even for medium screens, then I'm going to say overflow dash hidden. And then here I'm going to say that for medium screens, the width should go back to auto, which is going to reset this. There we go. Yeah. So let me see. WebKit scroll bar. Is there a way to style the X at the scroll bar? Come on, why can't I think of anything? Why can't I think of anything? Because if I save this, then it's going to style the entire scroll bar. So this one as well as these ones. And I don't want to do that. I mean, I can make it transparent, but that will also make this one transparent. I guess for now, what I'm going to do is just comment this out. Let me just comment it out. And then on mobile, it's going to be like this. It can work like that, but I don't really like it all that much, but it's going to work like that for now. And then that is going to be this page complete. So in the next video, we are going to begin with the send invoices page, which is this one. Looks pretty neat, if I do say so myself. And once again, we have tabs. Would you look at that? And for these tabs, once again, I'm just going to do some copying and pasting because we don't need to recreate all of this. Okay, so yeah, see you in the next video when we begin with this page.